Oh my gosh, we're live.
Welcome to the thing with the hi.
Yeah. Wow.
Steve's wonders why I don't cast him in anything.
Just because I'm an HG doesn't mean the words are going to work.
Line.
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 Welcome to the Nerd On Update, the weekly
What
show.
do I do with my hands?
I'll be in my trailer.
When we talk about the
Steve
stuff
knows
that
what to
is
do
that
with his
excites
hands.
us,
He runs them up my butt.
and then we answer questions
After
from you,
showers.
the
Only after a
people.
shower.
But first, we're gonna chat it up just a little bit. What's up, Tom? How you
Corey's
doing?
got
Hey,
it.
how's it
Corey
going,
knows
y'all?
it.
See, Corey's going to open it. Yeah, we all knew that.
That's how we do it out here. Unscripted, baby. We won't get affected by the strike. Guess what? We'll talk about that later today.
Hey,
That being said,
I'd like to strike that from the record.
that being said, how's it doing, everyone in the chat? Blackfoot, Ferret, and
What
Ethan
is
Hood,
everyone?
thank you for the subs. Brad, thank you for the Ray, T-Dog. Also, shout out to all y'all members who came through for the green room, chatted up with us. I feel like y'all should never worry about like talking too much or asking too many questions. I think
No.
we just love to include you guys part of the process and hanging out and chat up, having human interaction. I think I'm cutting off Josh. What's up?
Well, no, I just wanted to point out, like, I was late for a very good reason to the green room, because this is the first time on the update that we've had all four of us guys in months.
The
Four
four
guys hanging
horsemen.
out, just talking about this shit in the news.
The four horsemen.
Forget
right
about
here.
it.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So
Which one are you, Steve's?
Well, my four horsemen are in reference to wrestling, not the actual biblical four.
You're
horsemen,
like
so.
pestilence.
No, I'm Ric
to me.
Flair.
No, I think I'd be pestilence because I'm sickly.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you look like death. That's what.
I'll take
and then
that.
Steve's is pestilence.
So I'm the most important one.
Which one's Batista?
Josh could be war, and I could be famine.
Which one's Batista?
Batista is the one who
Drax.
knocks on the cabin.
Yeah, he was one of them. I wasn't sure if you remembered which one. Did you not see that yet?
I didn't watch it.
No,
Did I
spoiler.
spoil the whole fucking movie?
Spoiler.
Jesus Christ! I was gonna watch that.
Spoiler, there's four of them. Yeah.
Wow! I just talked about how I just watched Old for the first time. I watched
Sorry.
Old. I watched Clue. I watched Evil Dead Rises, and I watched Evil Dead this
Clue
last
is-
weekend.
Clue is great.
Clue's great.
I love
Clue's
Clue.
great. Clue's great.
I
Josh looks fucking miffed.
Sorry, Josh. I
He's
just
just
I wanna
fucking
watch-
pissed in his butt.
no,
What's that
I'm
movie
just
that came out?
observing. I'm a
old
listener.
old man with a gun, old man with a gun, old man with a gun. Robert
Oh,
Redford.
yeah.
Wait, is there
see
Old
that.
Man with a Gun?
I think it's called Old Man with a Gun.
You're right.
and
It is.
it's Robert Redford and what's her name from Carrie?
For the original,
Yeah,
Sissy Spacek.
thank you, Sissy Spacek.
Good job, Steve. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, did you watch Evil Dead Rises, Steve? You don't watch movies.
No, I just saw Knock at the Cabin because it's on Peacock now, and I watched it, but I haven't seen Evil Dead Rises yet.
Cock.
God. It's on the cock.
How's everyone in the chat
Forget
doing?
about it.
How's everyone in the chat? How was your weekend? How's your Monday starting off so far? I want to hear from y'all while we chop it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Steve's, we haven't seen you in a minute. Where
Look,
you been? What you been up to?
I'm not fragmented. I'm seeing myself on the Twitch. I'm not in.
You look pretty. You look
I'm
pretty
here.
tasty, and your image is clear.
Yeah,
Hey, thanks, Josh. Thanks, man.
Hey,
You know, Steve's, I actually had to explain to Mikey because I work with him. He's on the show I work
Nice.
on, and I was like, Steve's is like huge. Steve's is like a giant, big
Huge.
man. Like compared to me, I look like a little bitch. And then he's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, Steve's fucking taller than me and bigger than me. He looks like a fucking unit. Like if he came bursting through the walls, you'd run. You'd be like, this man's about to wreck my shit." And he's like, "Really?" And then I showed a picture of between you and I. We don't have like a direct picture of you and I, just the one where we're at Empire's Comics Wall and we're both, doing
the
that.
pose. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you could see he's fucking giant, but he's also, you'd hear him from a mile away because you'd hear him in his chanclas
Yeah.
while running
Flip flop for
in.
life. Yeah. I'm doing good. I'm appreciate everyone on Twitch who stuck in with the old choppy episode I was on when I just sounded great. Now that I can actually show you, since we're not on that topic anymore, here's my huge big ass WrestleMania program that I
Yeah.
bought right there with posters.
Where'd you buy that?
At WrestleMania at SoFi.
Oh, was that in LA
Yeah.
where
Right
we live?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, that place.
Oh, that's cool.
See past WrestleMania's posters.
Oh.
You got the
when he was in LA and he didn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
when
yeah.
He
That
came to the
happened.
event that happens every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
there's-
cool.
But it was,
Guys,
And I've known Steve for almost more than 10 years.
there's
He's
Edge.
busy. He
There's
had other
Edge.
people in his party that he had to,
Yeah.
bend
Yeah,
to
no.
their wills.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like an actor that actually has been in a film
Like they
sorry, that like one of my
There's the
colleagues actually
Pinkertons.
directed.
These guys right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
not done doing show and tell.
Thank
Oh,
you for your show and tell. I'm glad this is fifth grade again.
Look, there's legendary Lita and Trish. There's Trish and there's Lita right there. Trish and Lita.
I
And
opened a secret
Thank you
layer.
very much.
I got some foily cards, and I love them, and I put 2 of them in my decks already. But there's 2 more that come along with this, so it's really exciting. Tom, your turn. Josh, your turn.
What do I
This is the lint roller I use on the microphone before the show
what I have.
because I got cat hair in the house.
We have
And
one in every room.
This thing with cat hair and dog
Yeah.
hair
Looks
dude,
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Oh, Corey,
Stop, man.
don't you love it when like a card company that makes a game like for an anniversary like like makes a product for $1,000
Yeah.
and you can't play with it to
Yeah.
really like reward and honor
Love it.
all the people who've played the game
And supported them over the last 30 years. Yeah.
versus like a company that is always shitted on by that company that's been around for 30 years. And so that when they have the 25 anniversary, they sell their product for $20 and all you have are retro packs from the original game.
That's
and they definitely have the iconic characters in every pack.
Yeah, I love that. That's a good way to celebrate.
Yeah, I was like, these are so cheap. These are like $20, and it's like
I should pick one up actually just to have.
You should. They're really funny, so you could be part of
there
like
was much rejoicing.
Dude, but if you get a Blue Eyes, that's like
Give it to you.
that's like 20 grand.
Oh, good. That's Juniper's college tuition.
it's crazy. Josh, how about you? How things are going with you, man? Since last week.
I am just looking at Steve's show and tell. I mean, how can you not? I mean, he is just like right up there, super close. Real quick, just because Johnny Horror called me out, getting into Elden Ring, and I love it. That's awesome. That is awesome. Tom actually got me into Elden Ring. No, it was David.
Oh.
And then Tom was like, talking it up. So I had David and I had Tom talking. So now I'm just like, I'm a believer. Anyway,
Johnny Horror, if you can, make a little screenshot. Tell us what your build is on the Discord. I would love to see it. I did my McMungus skinny like old man only magic. Soap.
I wanted to be here last week but Juniper had her first ever cold.
I bet that
and turns out when a baby has their first cold, it's a doozy for everyone involved. So everyone let me rest. That was very sweet. Because you can't explain to them like this will be over soon. They just think that this is how they're gonna feel forever, and you need to fix it.
This is my life.
Yeah, and it was, she was all snotty and gross, and couldn't sleep, which means we don't sleep.
No.
But she's happy now. She's doing it. We're moving to one nap as of today. So
big step.
Big step. All done with the second nap.
I'm on one nap a day.
Yeah, me too. She's like, I'm not consistent with it yet though. So I may want to be. If she can do it, I can do it. Is what I keep saying.
There it is.
I'm glad Mamba also is recognizing Steve's, getting his glow up of like using the internet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Mamba, I know that if you want me to do like a stream where I can open up those boxes, I'll do that just so that you wear the Yu-Gi-Oh, from Brooklyn, Japan. So
Tom and I have another magic thing we might be working on soon.
Ooh.
Bro. What happens when you buy all the commander packs, bro? They send you the actual thing they sent up like stores.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus Christ.
They send you the display boxes and everything.
So much fucking product.
I love it.
Anyways.
I love you guys. To answer your question, Tom, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Life is good. I'm in a like we've said before, I'm in between gigs. I'm fun employed, so lots of time to go internal and fetal in the court. No, I'm just kidding.
How are the pups?
The pups
Want to
are
read about
great.
wrestling? Want to read about wrestling with me, Josh?
Pups are
Want to read about wrestling?
great.
Huh? No?
Nothing new to report. Penny's been sneezing the past couple of days, so we're kind of on watch.
That's
But
the kids.
there's-
Kids.
Yeah. But otherwise, everything is good.
Good, man.
Life is
Well, I
good.
say let's get into some news, you guys. Since there's four of us, we should
I'm the
probably
George Clooney too long didn't read gif.
get that.
I feel like we have a lot of like crazy news.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like stuff that you're like, okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
Not like crazy, like, oh my God, world stopping, but like, that happened.
Yeah.
Things that the audience and us could get their nerd on.
What? Did he say
As
the
always.
thing?
He did
the thing.
Oh my
You did the
gosh.
thing.
Thanks for watching the show, everybody. We'll see you next week. Commit to the bit.
All right.
Commit to the bit.
So who's going for? Oh wait, we got to do clappies.
Yeah, claps are fun. Oh, that was the Steve's.
Got it.
He was off screen, but we'll take it.
Corey.
I wanted someone else to say my name.
Oh,
Yeah.
so fast. So who's going first? What's the new? Corbin, my man. Corbin.
What?
I need some fire. I need some fire.
Go ahead.
Who's going
You
for
go,
me?
Tom. You go.
You,
Me?
Tom.
You.
Me? Fuck me?
Yeah.
Fuck me?
You wanna
Yeah.
Fuck me?
Okay.
I wanna go.
Okay. First bit of news, baby. So
Chew?
this past weekend. No. First bit of news is a continuation of some news I said before. Corey was there for it. I don't know who else was there for it, but good old MegaMan.exe.
That was just you and me. It was just us.
Jackin, aka Rockman Battle Network, NT Warrior. What am I saying? Probably the greatest
Tom's having an
legacy
aneurysm. That's what that
game
was.
of all time for Game Boy Advance, aka Mega Man Battle
Okay.
Network 1,
Mega
2,
Man.
White, Blue 3, Red Sun, Blue Moon 4, Colonel, and some. Anyways, so all these
Sky
great
Blue
games.
and Red Foo. Yeah, I remember them too.
Party Rockin' in the
Yeah, them.
so Mega Man, right? So it's a recreation, right? They came out during a time when Pokemon was the biggest thing ever, and the digital thing was a big thing everywhere. So they like reconceptualized Mega Man into these games. The Legacy collections came out in Volume 1, Volume 2, separating the first 3 and the last 3 games into 2 volumes that you could get on Nintendo Switch as well as on Steam. And shit is great. Shit is beautiful. People who love this game, people who remember the Game Boy Advance era of games are eating well, living large, big mode. That being said, the Legacy collections have now sold over 1 million copies in a week and a half, which is a big deal. I think to show the interest.
How big is it?
I mean these are $60 games, so it's like to have 1 million in video games is a big deal. I feel like video games is a growing and vast and young industry in that sense, and so when you hear 1 million copies sold of a game and has very little like user error reports and stuff like that, and people are just kind of really excited about it. I think Capcom just did a very good. Capcom is kind of like on top of their game of like remakes and reboots and like sequels. I feel like they really have cornered the market, being like, hey, we really want to like reward our audience in certain ways. A lot of people give a lot of flack to the Resident Evil 4 remake, whereas a lot of people have also praised it for taking certain like steps to innovate, so you're not doing the exact same thing. So like Leon's knife can break but could also parry like projectile weapons, X, Y, and Z. But anyways, this is about Mega Man. That's a little bit of news.
Breaking.
Numbers, money, million copies, real good. Next bit of news. So what happened was this last weekend, I have a good friend from up Sacktown who actually likes to come visit me.
No.
And he has a podcast. He got tickets to go to SnyderCON. If you don't know what SnyderCon is, that is an entire convention that Daddy Zacky Snacky Society hosts in Pasadena, mainly at Art
We
Center.
need to brand that. We need to just.
I know,
like,
right?
Just
Just call it Snacktivated.
Snacktivated.
And
Snacktivated.
it's good, isn't it? It's good.
I'm
It's
already
good.
getting ideas. You know how it works. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait,
There
I
it
could pop
is.
that into Photoshop. We could get something out of that.
That being said, so he has hosted SnyderCon before it was Dawn of the Dead, Watchmen, then Man of Steel. This time was Man of Steel, BVS, Ultimate Edition, and the Snyder Cut. The event was called Full Circle, had Ray Porter, aka Darkseid, do this big announcement on the social media, and had these tickets available so you can watch screenings with Q&As afterwards with Daddy Zacky Snacky. Afterwards, each ticket was $120 a pop to $150 a pop. If you wanted to buy the whole weekend, it was $500, I believe. And they sold out in 7 minutes. So I found out like the exact time was 7 minutes. I thought it was like within an hour, but anyways, I knew people who were going there, and then I was like, hey man, if you're going to be in blah, 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 hit me up and I'll meet up with you in Pasadena. We'll get some coffee. And I did. And it was really weird because it was definitely one of those internet, like oh, you're that guy. I was like, oh, I see your thumbnail. It's like, I don't, and, you know, y'all here maybe think like Tom is on that dick for sure. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I don't know a lot apparently. And then I was like, oh, that's this guy. I was like, is he a big deal? It's like, he's the guy who does this. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they're like, I was like, who's that guy? It's like, oh, this guy like organized these events. I'm like, is he a big deal? I was like, he kind of is. I'm like, okay, sure. That being said, it was really cool. So the first day, a few of the cast members from Man of Steel showed up. Second day, Patrick Tatopoulos for BVS showed up for the fight scene, all that stuff. Cool. Again, always having Q&As and stuff like that. It's crazy that the internet and the comic book superhero internet still kind of has huge impacts and explodes like whenever something happens and Zack Snyder says something. And so he mentioned like there had been ideas that, so in Man of Steel, there's a pod that's open that Kal-El walks through or Clark walks through, and they're like, who is that? Is that Supergirl? Is that Martian Manhunter? And Zach said like there was an idea at some point that potentially that the old gods, much like the new gods, are like Jack Kirby aliens, but the old gods are actually like ancient Kryptonians. And so Ares was the one that like crash landed that ship. So that ship was actually Zeus's. And so all like powered people in the world were actually all like descendants from Kryptonians. And since Kal-El is like the first pure blood Kryptonian in like hundreds of thousands of years, that's why it's such a big deal. And I'm like, that's really interesting. You know, again, like there's never been a sense of like this is like pulled directly from the comic, but like there has these like interesting scientific, you know, backings to that. And people either thought it was a really novel idea, people really hated it, X, Y, and Z. Third day, Snyder Cut was at Universal City Walk IMAX. First time ever having IMAX, you know, in color. Usually they did it in Justice is Gray. And Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, Ray Porter, Chris Terrio, all of them showed up. And
saw that picture.
A lot of people kind of say like they're keeping hush because there's potential that something could happen. And a lot of them are just really quoting. It's like, you know, they never said that the Snyder Cut would ever come out. And here we are. So it's interesting to see that they still have this, you know, potential like, hey, we're not going to give out all the secrets. We just tell you some of the ideas that we might have had, but then, you know, where we would go if we want to continue with it in any world, you know, we don't want to spoil everything. And so it's like a lot of people got pretty excited about it and want to see where that goes. And, you know, there's particular things that people are reading into. I can't get into all of it because you guys got some news, but that's it. Mega Man.
I'll say this real quick. It's fascinating to me that like, I mean, Tom, I don't need to tell you this because you already know about the hate that Zack Snyder gets. The people that work with him
love him, become
like diehard. They're like family.
Oh, yeah.
They're like Fast and Furious. Like it's about family now. It's not about the movie. Because Ben Affleck, who's like sworn off Batman multiple times now, will continue to show up if Zack Snyder's like, hey man, I need you to show up for this. He's like, I'm there. Where? Name a place. You know, Ray Fisher, same thing. Zack Snyder says, hey, I need you to show up tomorrow. He's like, yeah, name a place. I'm there. I think that speaks volumes for who he is, not only as a person, but like on set, which we know that people can be very different people on set. Yeah, I just want to throw that out there. I saw those pictures and that was like my first thought was like, man, this dude must be just a dream to work with.
I hate to make it like a snooty kind of thing, but like, you know, there always tends to be like loud voices left and right. And I always feel like this where it's just like, you know, people say like, oh, they hate these movies and they hate that vision of it. It's like, whatever you want to say. It's like these fans will fly out of their like states across the country from out of country to come to see this, where a huge contingent of audience members who clamor that they want something different won't even go to the theaters to watch it. You know, like they won't even watch it on streaming, even though they're like, oh, well, this is what we actually want. It's like, well, the box office doesn't prove that. Yeah. So it's just like really interesting to like kind of just see like there's huge demand. 7 minutes for like $100 tickets that you could buy at like for a movie at Walmart, and people are buying the tickets to go watch this in the theater. And it's like it's crazy. I think that's just absolutely insane.
That makes, I was just gonna say you can learn a lot about somebody when they're in a, I don't want to say stressful role, a high pressure role, like a director of a major, like the best thing that I can do, like relate it to is it's like you can tell a lot about a person when they direct a play.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see what kind of person they are. Like, do they turn into kind of like a dick? I've met some people that you're like, oh, director you is very different. So it's interesting to hear that about the Snack Daddy. Can I call him that? Yeah. Snacktivated.
Sure.
Well, since I'm talking, I'll do my news.
Sure.
And the
Hi,
reason,
Josh.
oh, hey. I figured I would do this news because it's actually a continuation of some news that I reported, man, I think it was like a year ago almost or something like that. No, it might have been just a few months. Anyway, it's still a flashback, right? Anyway, so Microsoft was or is attempting to purchase Activision Blizzard for an obscene amount of money. It's 68.7, but all the articles are 69 billion. You might as well just say 69 billion.
Nice.
$69 billion.
Question money. Ooh.
That is the epitome.
That's a
of
meme of
money.
an amount of money.
Yeah,
you guys.
that is
That's
obscene.
a fucking meme.
As Cat Williams once said, Oprah Winfrey is worth $5 billion. You should be allowed. You should shoot a person $5 billion.
It sounds like Microsoft was like, how much? And some guy was like, I don't know, 69 billion. And they're like, we'll pay it. And they're like, oh,
But how
shit.
about 68.7 billion? They're like,
Yeah.
It's 70.
I should have asked for more. Well, last time I was talking, the UK, I don't remember that it has a long name. It's an official thing that said they're starting to question it. They're starting to question this deal. Well, as of last week, they have said no. Cannot do this deal because their concerns are that it would stifle competition in cloud gaming.
Some monopoly.
Yeah.
Nay, governor. Nay.
That was the concern before. What I reported on before was that the UK was afraid that it would cause a monopoly. They don't want gamers to be forced into purchasing these expensive consoles. That's one of the things that has been said. And Microsoft has been biting back. They're like, well, maybe the UK isn't the place to have a business. And they're starting to say these things. Maybe we should go to the EU. And the UK is like, hashtag Brexit.
Oh, we left that.
But no, it's Microsoft has basically said that they are going to, paraphrasing, they're going to fight hard to get its. So
The company that you were looking for was the UK's Competition and Markets Authority.
there it is.
The UKMA.
CMA, right? Yeah.
CMA.
It feels like
Let's
their equivalent of the FCC.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what?
what it sounds like to me too.
MFC.
Yeah.
UFC.
I mean, I feel like after everyone let Disney buy up Fox, everyone has to be like, well, fuck. But also now every company has all the right to be like, you let them do it.
Yeah.
So it's like you're really in a bad place because again, it's all precedent. Everything becomes precedent.
Yeah, because I didn't know this, but I found out news to me in the process that Meta was having, fucking weird to say that. Meta was having an issue purchasing like a Giphy company. I know this company.
Oh, Jiffy, yeah.
Yeah, Jiffy, and the UK is like, no sir, no sir,
Yeah,
you will not.
that's a keyboard extension.
Yeah, I have it.
So
I use
it's so
Giphy.
like it's a big deal, and I think Apple would probably be like super bad about that too.
Yeah, so yeah, that's
It-
so
yeah,
that happened.
Landmark cases, y'all. Landmark cases.
Yeah, I was random thing. Did you know that when you buy a piece of digital media, that when you you don't actually own it?
Yeah.
You only have it as long as that that medium exists.
What,
like
like
your,
I was
like
just
your
like,
iTunes.
I was just thinking about I feel like someday there is going to be a case that this is going to come up. Like somebody's going to pass in their digital library. There's going to be some sort of, because they probably put that in there and nobody thinks about it. They're like, oh, it's in there.
This is why anything that matters to me, I buy physical. Like the Lord of the Rings 4K, physical copy.
Yeah, because
Any movie I love, physical copy.
hard
They
to
don't come with
imagine
digitals
it.
anyway.
Hard to imagine it, but if that day comes where Apple is defunct and gone, well, you lose all your Apple content, all
Yeah.
those movies, the songs, gone.
They don't have any Apple content.
Uh-huh.
They have
So
a morning
that's it.
show and Severance.
That's my
That's your
news. Who's
Good show.
next?
I believe that leaves it down to me.
Oh, Corey has some news too, but
Go ahead, though. You've already
wait,
started.
why did I think Corey? I thought Corey talked.
You've already
You're not
started.
paying
I
attention,
don't
Steve.
I'm not offended.
I thought it was wow.
You're
Different universe.
okay.
I was in a different universe that Corey spoke.
It's all good.
Minimal.
Just jump in timelines. It's all good.
That's it, just like old Barry Allen. Anyway,
Yes.
first off, wrestling easy news. The last two nights, Friday night SmackDown and tonight's Monday Night Raw have been the WWE draft, where wrestlers will be drafted to these separate TV programs. If you're a Raw wrestler, you only wrestle on Raw. If you're a SmackDown wrestler, you only wrestle on SmackDown. This usually happens about a week or two after WrestleMania. It's happening now as we speak. Now, some of you watching who are on the West Coast have not seen Monday Night Raw yet. Actually, it just aired 29 minutes ago. So I was able to see the updates beforehand because, East Coast time.
Right.
The Bloodline, Roman Reigns and his crew are all going to be on SmackDown, whereas the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, will be on Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley, who is a badass queen of a fighter and the current SmackDown Women's Champion, is now on Raw. She will remain entirely on Raw, whereas Bianca Belair, the Raw champion, is now entirely only on SmackDown, which means titles will probably be swapped at some time in the near future. So that's the big news happening in WWE. AEW, nothing big happening at the moment. There is rumored news that come June, a certain man from Chicago will return after the drama that happened last year. That man is CM Punk.
Al Capone. Oh, I was wrong.
The other
That's
one.
way off.
The other one.
Spike Lee.
The other one. CM Punk is rumored to return to AEW in June after the big drama that happened last year with him, Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, where these guys actually got into a fisticuffs behind the scenes. Supposedly, Punk is on his way back to the company. Don't know for sure. We'll see if that does actually happen when they have their pay-per-view in June, which will be in Chicago.
Pay-per-view. Nice.
Yes. And completing my wrestling news and on to another world that impacts me, the writing world. Tonight is the deadline for the deal to be reached between the WGA and the AMPTP, the American
How do you
Motion
make
Picture.
writing news still sound like wrestling news?
That's what I do, man. That's what I do.
It's the cost, so he doesn't know how to open podcast shows.
I got to
anymore.
make up for it. So the deadline is tonight. If a deal is not reached, writers will be going on strike, which will be affecting pretty much everything you watch, except maybe wrestling. I think they don't think they have WGA writers, but anyway.
Can I give some anecdotes?
Go for it.
Quantum of Solace.
Bingo. Conan O'Brien spinning his wedding ring as a game on his show because he refused to write anything in solidarity with his writers when he was on at late night. The latest news that I've seen, thanks to the old Elon Musk machine Twitter, coming from Deadline Hollywood, is that the WGA and the AMPTP talks have concluded without an agreement. That leaves us 3.5 hours until midnight for this to continue. If not, the strike begins at midnight.
Can I add a little quick also?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Elon Musk. Shout out to the boy who outed himself for having a dumbass burner account. Fucking oh God. It's so fucking funny. All right, anyways, real news, real people. Yeah, nothing's gonna be written. It's a cool thing that a lot of the late night show hosts have been talking about. They're going to be in solidarity with the people, and Fallon has said pretty much at the Met Gala tonight that he's yeah, if they go down, then our show's going to go down, and he's part of the WGA. But all union shows and all that stuff, even people who are trying to get into it, the moment you're cool, we'll bring you on. Now you're part of the union. Now you have to be part of the strike. So
a lot of people who don't remember the 2007, 2008 writer's strike and how much it fucking sucked.
That's why we have all this reality TV, everyone.
And late show hosts refused to do their monologues because they were also writers of their shows and in solidarity with the writing union. I was actually listening to John August on his Script Notes podcast that he put out Wednesday, saying
that's such a great resource to get inside and know WGA members, as well as Craig Mazin and him have both served on the board and as the head or the president before.
Yeah, and basically explaining how when it comes to this stuff, when it comes to this with SAG-AFTRA, the actors are always on the side of the writers. So that's why you
Yeah.
see the actors
The
alongside
writers
with them on the
who
line.
take care of you.
That's a partnership they said that's always existed in Hollywood, is that the actors and the writers always end up being on the same side against the producers and the studios. So
With no writers, there are no actors.
exactly. And then you have guys like John August who are writers and producers, or writers and directors, and they're in this conflicted area of what to do. But it's going to be
Just pay the writers.
yeah, just pay them. For every Shonda Rhimes, there's a writing team that is paycheck to paycheck, literally living paycheck to paycheck in Los Angeles. So just pay the writers. I'm biased. I am biased, but whatever.
No, I mean, I think we all agree. I think maybe we're all biased.
Maybe we're all.
My news. Let me just get this. I'm going to change my lights to pink here because we're talking.
Well, I was gonna say
Pinkertons.
oh damn it! I was gonna say if you don't pay him, we're gonna send our goons.
Pinkertons. Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro has come under fire about a week ago. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
I was gonna say for
I'll
those who
just start
don't
my
know.
news after.
No, for those who don't know what the Pinkertons are, because I didn't know what the fuck they were. So please.
Oh no, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say please explain.
Oh, they're essentially the mafia. They're union busters. They're usually hired by like big companies who want to threaten to basically kneecap people who are trying to start unions within their
a long time.
like not nice dudes. And they're a company called the Pinkertons. And if you know that phrase, if you're thinking like, I know this phrase Pinkerton, why? Because they were used in the Wild Wild West as the same exact thing. Hired guns who would basically do anything you paid them enough money for.
Yep.
I didn't.
Pinkertons. And we're still using that phrase. So this guy, old school MTG, was accidentally sent boxes of the new set that's not out yet, that hadn't been shared, hadn't been leaked yet, it hadn't been not leaked, what's the word I'm looking, spoiled yet. And so we have March of the Machines, and then there's a small set called March of the Machines Aftermath.
Difference between spoiling and leaking?
Oh, leaking is when information was let out before the company wanted it to. Spoiling is when the company will show you what's coming up and show you some spoilers. So especially with Magic the Gathering, they have spoiler week, which they'll release a set amount of cards each day until it's completely viewable. And people are like, I'm excited about this set. So what this was considered is a leak. This guy, old school MTG, bought these packs from this guy who's basically a distributor who he said is more into like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. Was like, yeah, Hasbro sent me this, this must be the newest set, I'll send it to you. So the issue came from Hasbro accidentally sending out, because the names are so fucking similar. They sent it out early. This guy, he sent it to MTG, and he opened it on YouTube. A few days later, knocks on the door. Pinkertons are at his house, threatening him. He gets on the phone with Wizards of the Coast. Of course, they're super nice. But then the Pinkertons show back up, start banging on his neighbor's door, asking where they are, and his house essentially gets raided for all of the stuff that he opened. So they've come under fire for this practice because what the fuck? Hiring Pinkertons to solve something that could have been now Hasbro and Wizards have released a statement saying that they attempted to reach out to him on multiple occasions with no feedback or no response. But this seems to me like a crazy escalation from, hey, we haven't heard from you. Usually, yeah, it seems like an overcorrection. Usually, like, I would even understand if they sent like a letter being like, hey, if you don't respond within this amount of time, we're going to sue you, and that kind of or you could just return the product. So what he said is that Wizards is compensating him and sending him the product he was supposed to get. But man, is that damage done to the company's name.
What's wild is, like, I don't know if I didn't know this until this started coming up, and it's like doing a little bit of research. Did you know that U.S. Congress passed the Anti-Pinkerton Act in 1893, and that no employee of the Pinkerton agency could be employed by the U.S. government? It's like, I didn't know all these things. It's
I didn't know that either.
Holy shiz.
Yeah,
This is
not
wild.
great.
I feel like the last year has not been great in terms of Wizard of the Coast news. Like, it's like
no, it hasn't been great. I'll say this though, from the card design R&D standpoint, those folks, great job. The game has never been more fun. Whoever's in charge of like PR and the forward-facing things of this company, what the fuck are you doing?
It's a little Dukes of Hazzard. Like, what's gonna happen this week?
And like, this whole thing is just like, it almost is that like, wow, I just am reminded that they're a corporation who really doesn't give a fuck about anybody, and they're just kind of like, oh, we just want your money for the game that you love to play.
Product.
So, definitely disappointing to hear. We'll see how this unfolds. But it wasn't the first time that Wizards has used Pinkertons either. There was a whole people have stepped forward. There was another guy who stepped forward, I believe, and said that the Pinkertons were sent to his house. He doesn't know of any other. He has some hearsay of them using them before. So this isn't like we didn't know what they did kind of situation. We've only done it this once kind of situation. Like they've used.
They got that Kraken. They deploy that bitch.
And yeah, to the chat's point, like they also fucked up with the D&D front. Like it's all Wizards. Hasbro is just like, yo, what is happening? So yeah, it's crazy. That's wild news. That is, I will see what comes of this. Hope that guy is safe. They were knocking on neighbors' doors asking for his schedule and stuff like that. So I hope he's doing all right. I think the community's behind him on that one. So that's my news.
That kind of is a movie right there.
Yeah.
Questions?
Yeah.
Questions.
The next part of our show is in which we answer questions from you, the people. And if you would like to submit questions, if you're new to the show, you can submit questions by going to nerdon.tv/questions. That has all of the ways that you can submit questions. But more direct, the best way is to join our Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord. There are channels in there that you can submit questions, but the absolutely best, the number one way to submit questions is to join the Nerd On Nation. You get a lot of other perks, but you also get private channels in our Discord that you have direct access to us and to other members. It's really cool. Just the whole Discord is pretty amazing. But you get to have your questions answered first, the Nerd On Nudge, and you can ask questions like
what?
Like
nudge. They're not nudge.
Mamba asks,
Shout out.
Who would be your IRL A team? Team of 4 that consists of Master Planner, a Face Man, an eccentric person, and finally the Muscle.
I'm the Muscle. I'm also the Face.
This is my.
I'm also the Master Planner, right?
Wow.
So I'm the eccentric one. Cool.
Wow.
Nice. Look, I'm stronger than a Steve's. I'm smarter than a Steve's.
Okay.
So it's all Steve's. Wow.
Okay.
And I have more linguiça in my blood.
That's a lie. That's bullshit.
Yeah, that's where he gets angry. Before
That's
he's
where I'm
like,
upset.
Okay, whatever. Now he's like,
so this question,
shut your mouth.
Is it like, who's our celebrities or just anybody?
Yeah, that's a question. Yeah, celebrity or our own personal friends, Mamba.
Mama
Here
needs
in
to
the
let
chat.
us know. We could start with celebrities.
They do a little both.
Anyone. Oh,
whoa.
He's yelling.
It's all caps. He's yelling. Loud noises.
He's daring
Master
us.
Planner.
I feel like it would be fun to use just because there's 4 of us. I feel like.
Yeah.
I think we all just rotate that, depending on whoever.
Or somebody might have a good plan, and I just go, yeah, seconded.
The sad part is with this group, I'm never the Muscle, no matter who's in charge of choosing.
Well, I mean, I could choose if you want to be the Muscle.
No.
Dana's the Master Planner.
June
is the Face Man.
In that situation, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then Margot is the eccentric person.
I've been described as deceptively strong, and I wear that as a badge of honor.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my A team. Let's just do it with ourselves.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Master Planner is actually gonna be Tom on this one.
Okay.
Into the multiverse.
What are the other 3? There's Face, eccentric one, and Muscle.
Yep.
Yeah.
The multiverse.
Josh, I'm gonna pick you as Muscle because you always play the barbarians. You always play the brutal class. I feel like you could lean into that hardcore.
Kill him with kindness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve's the Face. I'm the eccentric one.
So I'm Bradley Cooper. All right, you got it. Dun, dun, dun,
So I'm
dun, dun, dun.
I gotta get my South African accent.
There you
down.
go. Yes. Dun, 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 dun.
Face Murdoch. Face Murdoch. Is that what it is?
Murdoch. Yeah, Murdoch and B.A. Baracus.
Yeah.
Josh.
Who am
And
I?
you're Liam Neeson.
You're Liam Neeson, man.
I'm Liam Neeson. I will find you, and I will look.
No,
on,
no,
on the
18.
I will look on the
18.
streets of New York for a black person, so I can
18.
attack them.
No, the character he plays.
That's what Liam
18.
Neeson did.
The character he plays.
And Trevor Noah said it was okay.
God damn it, 18 cast. God damn it.
No, it wasn't okay that he did it. It was okay that
of course it's not okay. I forget.
Yeah,
They said it
Hannibal.
on a Black Man Beyond episode. It's like Watchmen's so black, Liam Neeson's looking for it, and I was like, yeah, too good.
You're
it was
Hannibal.
okay that how he was talking about it.
Yeah, because he was ashamed of it. I understand. I know. I'm just saying.
It's a bit. I'm in the bit. All right.
I'm in the bit. I'm in the bit. I like
I
that
feel
lineup.
like I mean, mine's very close. I mean, Corey, you're my eccentric person. Tom is my planner. Steve's you're my muscle.
Baracus.
And
Got it.
then I can feel confident enough with being the face man. Like
I pity the fool. I pity them.
Yeah.
My team.
None of y'all.
Mikey and
No, Sam Mendes is my master planner. The face man
okay.
Nick
is
Cage is my face off, man.
my face man is Jamie Foxx. Hopefully he's okay.
Oh yeah, I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay.
Uh,
I do like that we all agreed we were gonna do the four of us, and then Tom
then
was
Tom
like,
says,
"Now that you guys have all done it,
Celebrities.
there's not that
Albert
much
Einstein is my
variation.
planner.
It's
I'm here for the variation. Eccentric person.
My face man is Clayface from Batman.
Nice.
Who is also my
Filled
muscle
with
and also the
Daggett
planner.
makeup all
Yeah.
over his face.
Batman is all of them. And
Okay, yeah. Daddy Zacky Snacky is the muscle,
Dwayne is the face man.
and then the eccentric person is
still Corey.
We'll do Thomas Middleditch.
All right. We'll go with Ben Schwartz, the safer choice.
Sure. And that's mine.
Stevs.
I'd say face is Christian Bale. Muscle is Ben Affleck. Eccentric is Michael Keaton. And
Wanna get nuts?
Batman.
let's get nuts.
Master Planner.
Hang on. Master Planner, Adam West.
All right.
I think these are all goated answers.
All right.
Next
Good job.
question.
cool.
I don't regret that we answered it the way we did, Josh.
No, me neither. Next question comes from B-Rad.
Ours was harder to do, and it meant more.
Yeah,
Well, yours
yeah.
was right on. That's
So,
why I don't want to touch that.
Steve's is my favorite answer. It's the dumbest answer.
B-Rad asks, what's a director's cut or extended edition that you think is worse than the original?
Got one.
Ooh,
I got
okay.
it. I got it.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie's unrated cut of Halloween. I like
haven't
what he
seen it.
did in the theater way over what he did in the unrated version, mainly because of the way Michael breaks out. In the director's in the theatrical version, it's Michael overpowering and getting out of the hospital. In the director's cut, it's the jerky douchebag guards who basically get a woman who's a woman. God, what's the word I'm looking for? Not guests at a hospital. Jesus Christ. Patient. Jesus. Wow. Patient. They drag her into Michael's room and decide to assault her in Michael's room. And Michael just finally gets tired of it and kills them. And then he walks out. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that took away everything about Michael getting out of the hospital himself. It's just like, oh, door's open, and he walks out. I hated that. And then the scene itself was, I'm a Rob Zombie fan, but the scene itself, I'm like, this did nothing for me in the Michael story and the Michael character angle. So that whole thing tarnished. So that I actually own both versions because I did not want to keep the director's cut. I wanted the theatrical version. So did not like Rob Zombie's unrated Halloween. Although I did like the theatrical version much better.
All right. Well, I respect that.
A little dark there. Sorry.
No, that's a legit answer, and you gave reasoning.
It's a good one that you had it right on cue, because I'll tell you right now, bitch, I don't have an answer.
It's rare. It's rare
one
to
of the
not like
Blade
the
Runner
director's cut.
ones that's not like the absolute final director's cut Blade Runner 20. It's like there's like the third or fourth. No, it's the Hobbit extended editions. They're so fucking boring. It's the thing about the extended editions for like Lord of the Rings is that they were legit scenes that they couldn't fit into a theater. Mind you, a 3.5 hour theatrical runtime. They were like, we got to cut something. We can't have it be 4.5 hours. We can get it down to 3.5. This is why. But they were like scenes that added to character, story depth. Like the Mouth of Sauron scene is so fucking cool. And then when they made The Hobbit, they were like, we need to shoot things for the extended edition, but we're already turning one book into 3 movies. So what do? We just have Bilbo walking around places, looking at things, and we're gonna add 20 minutes to every movie of Bilbo walking around Rivendell. Just Bilbo walk around in the mountains.
Just give Bilbo a Travel Channel show and just do that.
It's ridiculous. It's awful, and because they're using the name extended editions like we're all excited for the Lord of the Rings, because the Lord of the Rings extended editions are like
amazing,
unanimously the way to watch it.
Yeah.
And so when I watched it, I was like, this fucking blows.
Yeah.
I have one.
Ooh.
And I think it also is tied for winner. Is it the re-release or is it the director's cut of A New Hope?
Oh, who shoots first?
Who shoots first, and all the fucking CGI
Special
monstrosities on Tatooine for no fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
I remember as a kid loving that shit and wanting to go watch it because I'm like, I wanted to watch it in theaters, but then being like, it's so starkly different, and then the fucking edit's different, and so leave it alone. Leave it alone, baby.
Yeah. Han shot first.
I don't have a specific example, but I have a memory. I just don't know what movie it is, but there was a movie, I think it was in the 2000s, that they released a, you know how there was that thing where you'd have a theatrical cut and then there was the unrated extended edition. It had more
Sophie's Choice,
more stuff, more sex jokes and poop jokes or whatever, and like
booby.
Oh, Sex Drive.
Was it that? I don't know, but there was.
I bought the unrated version, and it's fucking way worse.
There were a lot of movies, and it's not even just about the jokes. It's just like, okay, now this is just, it's all superfluous.
Oh, they just cut in the gags into the actual timeline, and so you're just like, the movie doesn't make sense now.
So was it like? Is it like when they let like Jason Bateman and like Jason Sudeikis and Horrible Bosses improv a few jokes, and instead of picking the ones that work for the film, they just put them all together? Is that what they did?
So there's a scene where they're trying to steal James Marsden's car, and so they
that's right.
And they kick the keys underneath the car, and they have to get it, and then he gets the keys right up, and the one guy's standing, the other guy's on his knees, and so when the brother lifts up like the garage, it looks like he's giving him a blowy, and then the scene is actually like they're not, the pants are still on, and he's like, oh, something like that. He's like, oh, what are you guys doing? And he's still supposed to be like, haha, funny gay humor, because James Marsden's character is gay at the end.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. But then in the unrated version, you literally see him pants down and you see him doing this.
But it makes no sense.
It's like,
why his
oh, they
pants
left
are
it
down.
in there. And they're like, oh, nothing. And then the next cut, his pants are up. And I'm just like, oh, so that was like the gag. And they like spliced out the actual one for theatrical into this one.
It doesn't make sense. It's better in the bloopers at the end than it is in the movie. Yeah.
I would say also BVS Ultimate Edition is probably way better than the theatrical.
Oh, okay. I was like,
just surprised no one made that joke.
Well, you know what's crazy? During
fruit, I guess.
SnyderCON, they actually said that like 80% of all sales for like BVS came out after the fucking theatrical. 80% of all sales literally made its budget back purely because of the Ultimate Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Says the guy who's trying to pull off the Cavill mustache. So
there it is. I see it. Yeah, there it is.
Is that what that is? No, I'm just kidding.
You know what?
No, it looks good on you. Actually, when you logged on, I went, damn.
Dad stash.
For Halloween.
Fine.
For Halloween. Stash Henry Cavill Superman, and then put this weird cover over your mustache. So you're the horrible CGI.
I was gonna say I should be Cavill Superman from The Flash, like where he hadn't seen sun yet.
Yeah.
You know, where he's the experiment.
Somehow they made Cavill's teeth bigger than they actually are on Henry Cavill.
All right, next question, baby.
Next question comes from Dougler. So, other than your own, any podcast or I'm assuming that it was meant live plays, love plays,
Let's plays.
let's plays that you guys listen to. Please, I'm begging you. I'm out of things to listen to.
Oh, okay.
I got 3.
My
4.
go-to listen is I mean, we've talked about things like Bird Brain podcast, stuff like that, but
I have 5.
right now it's Smartless.
You don't watch their show on HBO?
They have a documentary coming out.
Yeah, you can watch that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that they fucking need promotion. I know that's not what I should be doing.
Hey,
but,
look,
like,
I'll tell you right now, I didn't know who the fuck they were until I saw that trailer. So
my honest thing that I'm listening to. It's Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett. And
then I
it's
have to hear this then.
so fucking good. Their podcast is so fun. They all became friends. I just learned this recently. The 3 of them became friends in the late 90s because Jack Black and Kyle Gass hosted a weekly poker game.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all 3 of them a part of that, which is
I knew about the game. I didn't know they were in it.
Yeah. So that's my go-to listen. I know it's not. I wish I had thought about it more and just been a creator supporting creators because they're all really famous and rich and doing fine. But that's my honest answer. Is that's what I listen to a lot of the time.
Josh or Steve's?
I'm still kind of
Steve's?
sussing it out.
I got 5.
Go ahead.
In heavy rotation. I start off in the morning with The Daily from New York Times. They pick one news story and then they go 25, 30 minutes on it. Throughline from NPR, where basically they take a historical event that's happening today and go back in time to when that occurred and how it came to where we are today. What the Fuck with Mark Maron.
Mm-hmm.
Script Notes, as we mentioned earlier, John August and Greg Mason. And for a comedic take on the dark, murderous past in this country or the alien world, Last Podcast on the Left.
Yeah.
Fucking love
Henry
that podcast.
Zabrowski.
Hail Geen.
Yes.
Hail yourself.
Satan. Hail Satan. Laugh my ass off over fucking some of the darkest shit just because of the way they present it. And
Yeah.
it's,
Zabrowski is a gem.
oh God, yes. There's my 5.
And
The one Corey brought up will be my 6th.
I think you're gonna love
Josh?
it, dude. I think you're gonna absolutely dig it.
I got to be really honest. I don't watch a lot or listen to a lot.
He loves Nerd On. He loves Nerd On.
No, I
besides
listen to
ourselves.
audio. I listen to audiobooks and stuff like that. So I don't have a lot of shows to like podcasts or anything to shout out except for Bird Brain and all of our friends.
Yeah.
I mean, a recent audiobook that I just absolutely now I want to listen to it again. It's a book called The Mountain Is You. It changed my life. It's a really interesting perspective, just about how we hold ourselves back and how the brain works, and it's very interesting. I like it a lot.
Nice. If you do audiobooks, Josh, sorry to jump in right before yours, Tom.
don't give a shit.
I just started listening to Dave Grohl's The Storyteller,
Mm-hmm.
his documentary, his autobiography, and he does the audiobook reading.
Oh, I love that.
You would love this book, Josh.
Okay.
I
love
would
when
highly
the authors
recommend it.
actually read their books.
And it's Dave Grohl.
Yeah, I liked. Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll throw someone out to you real quick, Josh. Sorry, real quick.
No.
Audiobooks. Fred T. Joseph. I follow him on social media. Just started listening to him. His first book I listened to was The Black Friend on Being a Better White Person. And he got an award, big awards for his book, Patriarchy Blues, Reflections on Manhood. So if you want to take a look at it, Fred T. Joseph.
All right, Dougler, here it is. Let's go. Anytime you watch an HBO show, there's a podcast afterwards.
True.
So whatever the fuck HBO show you're watching, there's a podcast that talks about every episode being made of it. It's a great listen, especially if you want to get the inside souse.
Facts.
Second thing, let's do Four Tails podcast, Kyron Silva. Shout out to the homie, Taurus Comics, local comic book creator up in Sacramento, good friend, really humble, awesome artist, Robservations with Rob Liefeld podcast. If you want to know about someone who's actually in the comic book industry, who created Deadpool and his experience, he comes from that, from like I worked on these things, and so I have this thing. He's like, as a kid, I grew up on the spinner rack, and so he has a very humble approach to it. Fat Man Beyond, if you want some Kevin Smith, Mark Bernardin, they fucking always disagree, so it's really good to get two opinions. Genius Brain, if you like some David So comedy, it's very degenerate, that kind of like my energy, feeling. What's Up Fandom, that's got the boy Other Josh, and he's got
Nice.
Jason, who they talk about a lot of animated stuff. They got a lot of inside access stuff with like the DreamWorks Netflix crew, but they also talk about other movies and everything like that. I would also recommend He's a Game Media Need to Nerd podcast, maybe. Check them out. It's Spencer in the Discord, so check them out. And Coach U podcast. I got a friend. His name's John Urena, and it's pretty much just like how to build yourself up, how to like respect the process. Everyone's coming in different places. It doesn't matter how late you start, as long as you fucking start. So that's a good one. Based on a true story, starring Anthony Estevez.
Journey. Based on a true journey.
Boat J.
Based on a true journey.
Based on a true journey. If you like some of that, like
Currently
historical like stories, listen to narrated by someone who should be like narrating WrestleMania, but it's news. And then. Anything else? Dave Chang podcast.
I was like, okay, what do I watch? Anything Elise Myers does.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. Any of her YouTube videos or TikToks or Instagrams. She's
listening
hilarious.
to her podcast?
I am not listening to her podcast. I don't usually it's like audiobooks or like meditation music. So
if you're into some audio dramas, Carcerum.
Yeah.
We're Alive.
Yeah.
Also Wolverine. They got an audio drama with the Wolverine Lost Trail. It's really good audio drama.
Series?
What was that?
Carcerum the series.
I said that.
He did say.
I just throw it out there again.
I said it. I got. If you want to watch some Let's Plays, just donkey shit. Donkey.
Rob Liefeld, a part of that rebellious revolutionary crew that created Image Comics.
With McFarlane and Jim Lee.
Yeah, the DX of comics, you might say.
Yeah, dude. And Jim Lee was the golden boy.
Mm-hmm. Click.
All right, Tom, you take it from here.
All right, we don't have too much time left. We actually did talk a lot.
We talked too much at the top.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's my fault. It's too much. It's too activated. So let's do a question.
It's my good internet.
Let's do a question. So we have all the hosts here. Let's do a question from last week in the Discord that Corey asked.
Okay.
If you had to watch the filmography of just one actor for the rest of your life,
oh my god,
the fuck?
Yeah. I saw this somewhere and I was like, this is a good question.
Of just one actor?
Just one actor.
Christian Bale.
It's Christian Bale.
It's Christian Bale.
I can't choose him now.
I saw him in Amsterdam, and in that movie, oh my god, I was just like, I don't give a fuck.
So good. So
I was watching him, I was like, I could watch him all day. Pale Blue Eye, I could watch him all day.
Yeah, you get all the Batmans.
Mm-hmm. All the Batmans,
you get
Hostiles,
Prestige.
Everything he does with Scott Cooper is fucking great. American Psycho, get out. Rain of Fire,
Public Enemies.
You get Newsies.
Public Enemies. Newsies. Empire of the Sun. When he's like, wee little guy.
Shaft, and Samuel Jackson's calling him motherfucker the entire time.
Yeah.
How can I say no? See him in Thor: Love and Blunder. How can I say no?
Mm-hmm.
Ford versus Ferrari with the Damon.
That's a really good answer.
It is.
Damn it. Fuck.
I get Mowgli because he plays because he plays Bagheera.
Yeah.
How do I say no? How do I say no? Christian Bale. I see Howl's Moving Castle. How do I say no? How do I say no?
How do you say no?
Prestige. How do I say no? How do I say no?
Prestige.
Prestige.
The Big Short.
The Big Short. How do I say no? How do I say no?
Right. I'm gonna make so if teenager me were listening, I love you. I'm sorry, but there's 2 actors, but I have to pick one. Robin Williams. Because I get a little bit of everything.
God, you're right. You guys, they're making the good picks.
Jumanji?
Do I get his? I would be able to get his stand-ups, right? Anything that was released to
of course.
Filmography?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mork and Mindy gets thrown in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Good Will Hunting.
I know.
Doubtfire, Dead
I know.
Poet Society, Awakenings.
Patch Adams. I mean, come on.
Oh,
Vietnam.
God damn it.
It's a good answer.
Insomnia? Because
Insomnia.
Stevs, what do you got, man?
Corey, you go.
No, I gotta go last because I have an answer I want to throw out there.
Well, Tom and Josh took 2 of my favorites.
I mean, you could say the same ones. It's not. There's no.
No, I want to be different, and they picked 2 of my favorites. I want to be different. I want to be different, Corey.
Snowflake.
I want to be different.
Then you go for Sam Jackson.
You go for Christopher Lee, who has like
go for
191 credits.
I saw some Pulp Kitchen podcast. It's Sam Jackson. It's you get.
Because he's in everyone.
You literally get everything. You want comedy? You got Coming to America. You want Marvel? Done.
But you know, I'm
You
gonna
also get
You want
Christian Bale.
Shaft? Done.
hold on.
You want the other guys? Done.
The Rock's
So
in
really,
that one.
it should have just been 6 Degrees of Samuel L. Jackson.
That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Like somehow you would get to a Sam Jackson film.
You want
get
Quentin
you get-
Tarantino movies? Done.
You
They're
get
yours.
Deep Blue Sea.
You get Deep Blue Sea.
and the best.
You get Star Wars.
A Star Wars?
Hold up.
You get Incredibles.
Yeah, you get Incredibles. It's Sam Jackson. Like that.
You get Boondocks.
Yeah.
Denzel
That's-
Washington.
All right.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Respect that.
You get Equalizer 3 coming out.
Uh-huh.
King Kong ain't
Well-
got nothing on me.
Fences, Training Day,
There's
Equalizer 2
Gangster.
with Pedro Pascal.
Glory,
Yeah.
You get American Gangster.
The Hurricane,
American Gangster.
Crimson Tide. You cannot launch those rockets unless both you and I agree.
American Gangster.
Mm-hmm.
Man
Mom-
on Fire.
My man on fire.
Deja Vu
Deja Vu.
with Paula Patton.
Say
Yeah.
the name. Say the name again. Say it again.
Paula Patton.
There it is.
I'm looking through his filmography and I'm like, yeah, I take that.
It's tough.
I'm
This
like,
is tough.
It's a tough one, man.
One actor.
Wow.
Corey.
Yeah.
What was yours?
It was Sam Jackson. Like that was the
Oh.
you get a little bit of everything, baby.
He wasn't
If it's
joking.
not
He was
Sam-
not joking.
If it's not Sam Jackson, because then I lose Lord of the Rings, which is sad. So my other go-to was
Really?
not Christopher Lee. It was Sean Astin because you get Rudy, you get Goonies,
you
get Lord
get
of the
50
Rings.
First Dates.
you get 50 First Dates.
You get Stranger Things season 2.
I kept going through all the Lord of the Rings. I was like, Orlando Bloom, I get Pirates. That's pretty good. But then I'm stuck with Elizabethtown.
Another one. My other one I had in mind was Ben Affleck because you get Kevin Smith's filmography,
Right.
and then Ben when he goes off on his own. So I was like,
Mhm.
Ben's gonna be in there too. Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well,
Anyway.
that has been the update.
Update.
Everybody at home, thank you so much for hanging out with us with this with our shenanigans. Appreciate you all. If you're new to our show, welcome. We are here every Monday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and throughout the week, streaming some vidya games. Check out our website, nerdon.tv. It has all of our, I mean, there are so many episodes. Our YouTube. Yeah, there's a lot. But before we sing out for sure, who are we rating?
we're ready.
There used to be a
Rating.
Who are we rating?
Brad's going live again tonight.
Is he
I'll
live
rate
now? He better get
Brad.
live now. Go live now.
Brad. Paging Brad.
This is Brad. I said, yay, Steve's made it for a whole episode.
Good internet.
Technology.
Ethernet cables.
Proud of you.
I'm looking for Brad in the.
Zell said he's getting it
thing.
up now. Yeah, that's what she said.
Hello.
Now I can do this. I could do the Obi-Wan.
Hello there.
Is that after he goes and fingers someone's butthole?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hello there. Hello there.
That's what you do. You
Hello
go,
there.
that whole
Allergies.
thing.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Hello there, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Well,
We
I'm
say
gonna-
no deal, Microsoft and Activision.
just like
That was
too.
me.
It's wild.
Spanking time.
Well, I'm gonna
You
go
may.
to our end screen. Everybody,
That's fine.
I appreciate you. Hang out for a bit. We are gonna be rating B-Rad,
Yeah.
Brad.
but we're gonna go to the end screen because I think Corey's on daddy duty.
I am on daddy duty.
Dude.
On
Corey.
duty, kind of.
My wife's being very patient with me. She loves me. Very nice.
Aww.
All right.
I did-
Or I'm about to
Yeah.
get beat up. We'll
Yeah,
see.
Either way, let me know.
Everyone, take care of yourselves. Drink some water. Know that we're thinking about you. Have a good week.
Stand with the writers. Stand with the writers.
You know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on.
On.